I will never forget the day that the pregnancy test read positive. I've never felt that much joy that I felt in that moment. Jordan and I's prayers had been answered and we were over the moon excited about the idea of being parents. At the first ultrasound that we had, we were so giddy with excitement that we could barely stand it. Hearing the heartbeat was music to our ears. The day we found out the gender and got to see her again, she was upside down in the womb, but she was moving around so much. The ultrasound tech mentioned that her position was unique, but I tried not to overthink those words and instead bask in the joy that we were having a baby girl. We moved from Texas to South Carolina, and because of the Army's insurance program, I didn't have an appointment from week 10 to week 24. Finally, at week 24, I had an appointment and they checked everything. Concerns were raised about the inability to observe her spine, in addition to a potential issue with my placenta. I began to pray this prayer that I wrote in my prayer journal. For you shaped her inside and out, you knitted her together in my womb long before she will take her first breath. We will offer you our grateful hearts, for she is your unique creation. Filled with wonder and awe, you have approached even the smallest details with excellence. Your works are wonderful. I carry this knowledge deep within my soul. You see all things. Nothing about her is hidden from you. As she takes shape in secret, she is carefully crafted in the heart of the earth before she is born from my womb. You see all things. You see her growing and changing in her mother's womb. Every detail of her life has already been written in your book. You've established the length of her life before she's ever tasted the sweetness of it. Psalms 139. The next appointment, they confirmed that her spine had no issues and that my placenta had no issues either, despite what they had seen before, which we just counted as God answering our prayers. We continued to pray and fast for the health of Lakeland alongside of all her uncles, aunts, and grandparents. And at 27 weeks, the negative reports began to pour in. The doctors and nurses began to say things such as, we need to check the position she is in. It's concerning to us that she is still in that same position she has been in for every ultrasound. You are measuring small. We need to get you back to ultrasound immediately to see what is going on and check on the baby. We need to start seeing you twice a week for monitoring. We are not sure what is causing both you and the baby to measure small. It could be Down syndrome. We need to send you to a specialist. Her position and size is concerning to us. We went to see the specialist after the concerns, and they looked at her position and determined that she was an IUGR baby, which is an intrauterine growth restriction baby. And they told me and Jordan that with these types of babies, we run the risk of stillborn births. I had two choices throughout my entire pregnancy. I could choose to live in fear and worry and let that consume me, or I could choose to commit Lakeland to the Lord and trust the promises that were in His Word and the promises that He had made to Jordan and I. I would like to tell you that I never worried and I never let fear creep in, but that was just not the case because I'm human. My journal throughout my pregnancy is full of prayers for our Lakeland girl. God spoke to Jordan so clearly when we were trying desperately to make sense of the doctor's reports. God said to Jordan, stop leaning on your own understanding. Why are you questioning my ability? Trust in me and stop trying to figure it all out. And I remember when Jordan told me that the Lord had told him that, it spoke so strongly to me because we were trying to figure it all out. And part of God's plan is you can't try and figure it all out. You can't try and put the pieces of the puzzle together because He's working all along and we can't always see what He's doing, but He clearly was doing something great and it didn't make sense at the time. On February 6, 2018, our little girl arrived perfectly healthy via C-section at 39 weeks. She defied all odds. The negative reports continued even after she was born, but she continued to prove them wrong again and again. I share all of this to tell you that no matter what you're struggling with, God has the final word. Not you, not doctors, not family members, not friends. He taught me and is continuing to teach me to tune into His voice and ignore the chatter. Did everything become magically perfect once Lakeland was born like I thought it would? I sure wish. But the postpartum period is something that I will never look at the same now that I have gone through it. The respect I have for moms is greater than ever. I personally struggled with immense anxiety, thinking that I had to be perfect in all aspects of motherhood. I tried so hard to do everything perfectly, but naturally life happens and threw my expectations far from reality. Anxiety got the best of me and eventually I broke. I struggled like I have never struggled before. I wanted so badly to be the perfect mom and the perfect wife. A C-section recovery alone is serious. Shout out to all my C-section mamas. Rough stuff. Not being able to get my own baby out of bed when she cried in the middle of the night upset me beyond words. I wanted so badly to be there for her at every second she needed me, yet I couldn't even raise myself out of bed independently. I needed help, but I have such a hard time accepting help. Recovery has been slow, especially adding the fact that I got shingles week 4 postpartum, but I'm getting better with each passing day. The 6-week mark really is the sweet spot that they all talk about. This all is just one chapter of my family's story. Throughout it all, God has remained faithful and we will continue to give him all the glory and all the praise.